Hi, everyone. Welcome back to God's Whispers, a place where we take the time to pause and reflect on the Word of the Lord. Today I'm going to be speaking about the Gospel according to Mark, chapter 5, verses 21 through 43. It's actually two stories woven together, and that matters. One is a story of Jairus, who's a synagogue official. He's respected, and his daughter is dying. And then there's another woman who's anonymous. She's been sick for 12 years. She's exhausted. She has no status at all. Yet Jesus stops her. In Jesus' time, this woman would have been considered ritually unclean. Her condition didn't just affect her body, but it affected her relationships, her worship, and her place in society. Jairus, on the other hand, represents everything that's powerful and important, respected. So it seems as though Mark placed these stories together on purpose. One person who is powerful and desperate, and the other one who's invisible and desperate. And Jesus gives both of them his full attention. What I thought was interesting was Jairus asked Jesus to come quickly, but Jesus pauses. And during this pause, the worst happens. Jairus is told, "Your daughter has died." Imagine how he must have felt if only Jesus had stopped. But Jesus says something that feels almost impossible. Do not be afraid, just have faith. Not that faith ignores fear, but faith keeps you going through the fear. Let's listen. When Jesus had crossed again in the boat to the other side, a large crowd gathered around him, and he stayed close to the sea. One of the synagogue's officials, named Jairus, came forward. Seeing him, he fell at his feet and pleaded earnestly with him, saying, "My daughter is at the point of death. Please, come lay your hand on her, that she may get well and live." He went off with him, and the large crowd followed him. There was a woman afflicted with hemorrhages for 12 years. She had suffered greatly at the hands of many doctors, and had spent all that she had. Yet she was not helped, but only grew worse. She had heard about Jesus and came up behind him in the crowd and touched his cloak. She said, "If I but touch his clothes, I shall be cured." Immediately the flow of blood dried up. She felt in her body that she was healed of her affliction. Jesus, aware at once that power had gone out from him, turned around in the crowd and asked, "Who has touched my clothes?" But his disciples said to him, "You see how the crowd is pressing upon you, and yet you ask, 'Who touched me?'" And he looked around to see who done it. The woman realized what had happened to her, approached in fear and trembling. She fell down before Jesus and told him the whole truth. He said to her, "Daughter, your faith has saved you. Go in peace and be cured of your affliction." While he was still speaking, people from the synagogue's official's house arrived and said, "Your daughter has died. Why trouble the teacher any longer?" Disregarding the message that was reported, Jesus said to the synagogue official, "Do not be afraid, just have faith." He did not allow anyone to accompany him inside, except Peter, James, and John, the brother of James. When they arrived at the house of the synagogue official, he caught sight of the commotion, people weeping and wailing loudly. So he went in and said to them, "Why this commotion and weeping? The child is not dead, but asleep." And they ridiculed him. Then he put them all out. He took along the child's father and mother and those who were with him, and entered the room where the child was. He took the child by the hand and said to her, "Talitha kum," which means, "Little girl, I say to you, arise." The girl, a child of 12, arose immediately and walked around. At that, they were utterly astounded. He gave strict orders that no one should know this, and he said she should be given something to eat. The gospel reminds us that Jesus is never rushed, and delays are not denials. Journal prompts that would go along with this beautiful passage would be, where in my life do I feel like I'm waiting while time is running out? And who to identify more with today, Jairus or the woman? And what would it look like for me to reach out to Jesus, even imperfectly? I hope that this message resonated with you, and if it did, please give it a like and share it with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe so you can continue to hear God's whispers.